Clara's disappearance sent ripples of fear through Saint Marie. The villagers, already wary of the convent, now spoke in hushed tones about the historian who had dared to challenge the curse. Some claimed to have seen her wandering the forest, her face pale and her eyes hollow, as if she were no longer herself. Others whispered that she had become one of Sister Beatrice's lost souls, forever bound to the convent's dark legacy. But the story didn't end with Clara. Months after her disappearance, a group of urban explorers, drawn by the legend of the haunted convent and Clara's mysterious fate, arrived in Saint Marie. They were a daring bunch, armed with cameras, EVP recorders, and a thirst for the paranormal. Among them was Marcus, a seasoned investigator who had faced countless haunted locations. He was skeptical of the stories but intrigued by the convent's history. The villagers warned them, just as they had warned Clara. "Stay away," an elderly woman hissed, clutching a rosary. "The nun's spirit is restless. She's taken too many already." But Marcus and his team laughed off the warnings, confident in their equipment and their ability to handle whatever they might encounter. That night, under a full moon, they entered the convent. The air was heavy, and the silence was deafening. The team split up, each member exploring a different section of the ruins. Marcus made his way to the chapel, where Clara had last been seen. The statue of the Virgin Mary still stood, her face cracked and weathered, but now there was something different, something unsettling. Her eyes seemed to follow him as he moved. As Marcus set up his equipment, he noticed something glinting on the floor. It was a shard of metal, part of the locket Clara had destroyed. He picked it up, examining it closely. The engraving was faint but unmistakable, a symbol of intertwined roses, their thorns sharp and menacing. Suddenly, the temperature dropped, and the chapel was filled with a low, guttural growl. Marcus turned, his flashlight beam illuminating the figure of Sister Beatrice. But this time, she was different. Her form was more solid, her eyes burning with a renewed fury. "You should not have come here," she hissed, her voice echoing through the chapel. "The locket was only the beginning. The chain that binds me is unbroken." Marcus stumbled back, his skepticism shattered. "What do you mean?" he asked, his voice trembling. "What chain?" The nun's smile was cold and cruel. "The chain of sin," she said. "The chain of those who have disturbed my rest." Clara thought she freed me, but she only added another link. "And now, you will join her." Before Marcus could react, the shadows around him came alive, writhing and twisting like serpents. He tried to run, but the chapel doors slammed shut, trapping him inside. The air grew thick, and the whispers began, voices of the lost, the damned, and the forgotten. Among them, he heard Clara's voice, pleading for help. The team outside heard Marcus's screams and rushed to the chapel, but by the time they arrived, he was gone. The chapel was empty, save for the shattered remains of the locket and the faint scent of roses. The team fled, their bravado replaced by terror. In the days that followed, strange things began to happen in Saint Marie. The villagers reported seeing shadowy figures in the forest, their faces twisted in agony. The convent, once silent, now seemed to pulse with a dark energy. And on stormy nights, the whispers grew louder, as if Sister Beatrice's spirit was growing stronger. Some say the curse of the convent can never be broken, that the chain of sin will continue to grow, binding all who dare to disturb its rest. Others believe that the key to freeing Sister Beatrice lies in uncovering the truth of her past, a truth buried deep within the convent's walls. But one thing is certain, the legend of Sister Beatrice is far from over. and those who seek to unravel its mysteries may find themselves becoming part of the story, a story with no happy ending.